Alright, y'all. I am back. I'm still animating this dog dragging his ass across the floor. Got some copyright-free music playing for Twitch and YouTube, so I don't need to shout it out today. But if you're curious, it's the relax movement. If you're on TikTok, you don't hear any music. You might just hear my chair squeaking and my dog whining in the background, but that's alright. A whiny dog is fitting background sound for this animation. So welcome if you're just joining in. I'm puppet animating this dog. I have 8 keyframes left, it looks like. And then I need to do a whole ass lip sync and like eyebrows pass, and I'll probably end up doing that on a separate stream because you'll see one pose takes a long time. Turn the puppet off, see what I need. So the process for this is I basically just steal parts from the different views, and if you've watched some of my previous streams, you'll have already seen me do a lot of this. But I have my puppet that I imported from a different project. Turn it back on so we can see it. I'm gonna need the reverse 3/4 body, it looks like, and it's pretty close. I might end up just using the profile body, but we will see. I'm gonna center on selection, grab this keyframe, copy it, come back over to my, whoa, yep, that didn't work. Alright, let's try that again. Let's go back over here. I'm gonna just 9-0 this, center on selection, copy, paste, there we go. I don't even know what happened last time. Just didn't get some master peg or something. Alright, and I'm going to start, well, I'm going to get this face out of here, and I'll bring in the reverse 3/4. For my other streams, I was starting with the head a lot. Starting with the torso has kind of been a little bit nicer, to be honest, so. And some of y'all might know this is my first time ever doing puppet animation in ToonBoom Harmony, so this is a learning curve. I'm definitely not a master of this software so much. Yeah, once I start doing some 3D streams, like once I finish this up and get back into ZBrush, I'll be much more of an expert. It'll be like pretty apparent that I'm a 3D animator at heart, but I just love animation, and I wanted to challenge myself this summer to learn 2D animation tools. And that actually, it's a little wonky, but I think I'm gonna be able to get away with it. Maybe. Probably not. I'm gonna have to actually end up redrawing these shapes. So the process when your puppet can't quite do what you need it to is to actually go in and draw over your rough. And this rough I actually like drew with a Cintiq pen. You can like see how sketchy and shit it is, but when I'm like inking and coloring, I'm gonna use my mouse and use vector tools to like optimize the number of points. So all that said, let's grab this lower torso, and you can see how much fucking ads. You can see how much I've had to like make new shapes. Anything past the number 7 is a new shape I've had to make, and you can see how fucking wonky they've been getting. But alright, so I'm gonna go ahead, hit make a new drawing. My lower torso would end like around there-ish. And these don't have to be too exact because I'm like never gonna reuse these shapes, so I just kind of follow my rough. Grab the lines, make sure it's set to fixed thickness 10. It surely is. And then we'll just come in and start. Oh, what happened there? Huh, what is happening? Yeah, I'm still on the right layer. Oh, it's because this deformer is still turned on. Alright, and I'm gonna get this torso, this upper torso out of my way. Fuck, and I have the upper torso selected. So let me go into my puppet rig. Grab that lower torso. We're back on it, back on that empty drawing. I can just come in here and start inking over my rough. I think after this pose, all the poses with the dog like actually dragging his ass on the carpet, it's been pretty hard to get the puppet to do what I want to do, to be honest. Just because that shape gets so wonky, but my last like 6 poses, I think he's back to standing up, or she's back to standing up, and it's a little bit easier to just use the puppet, copy and paste, but this one, I just gotta draw it. Same thing, so I'm gonna grab a new torso shape, and then, actually before I do that, I'm gonna put this pivot just kind of back-ish where it would be. It's probably not gonna matter. It's like I said, I don't think I'll ever end up reusing these shapes, but whoops. And then yeah, I'll just make sure there's some overlap. And I honestly wonder if for something like this, I couldn't get away with just like putting the torso, whoops, that's the wrong layer, go back to the line layer. I wonder if I could get away with like putting the torso on its own shape layer. Just as like one object instead of doing this upper torso, lower torso stuff, but just to be safe, I've been doing them as separate shapes in case I need to tweak it later. I'm gonna go over my drawing layer so I can see. I don't know why this view has been rotating on me all weird. If anybody uses ToonBoom and like knows why this is not the same orientation, please let me know. It's driving me crazy. Usually like if I rotate this with Control Alt, I can hit Shift X and that resets it, but this drawing mode is fucking wonky. It's all fucked up. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know if you know. I'm gonna fill that sucker in. Alright, now we got that torso shape looking pretty nice, and let's see what we can get away with our other shapes. So I'm gonna grab this front leg, snap it into place. There-ish. Oh, I might have to tweak that torso shape we just made a little bit. I'll hit Shift B to descend my hierarchy. I'm gonna move this arm way down for this. Let's go back up. Yeah, look how bad that fucking rough drawing is. I might try to meet myself halfway between what I roughed and what the rig actually looks like. So I'm gonna make this leg just a little bit shorter. And let's see where I have it coming down on the next frame, see if it'll be workable. So from here down to here, I might have to move it forward a little bit, so it's like right there, but that'll be fine. Also, you'll notice, and luckily it's a vector shape in a different project, but this couch needs to be in front of this dog, and it's not right now. So I'm gonna have to go into that other project and just like export a PNG of that couch on its own little thing, but I'm gonna do that at the very end. It don't matter right now. Cool. So that leg will be fine right there. This far leg looks like it's just straight, and yeah, that hand is planted. So I'll turn on my onion skins. And this basically, this foot shape needs to be like very, very similar. So it looks like I probably made this layer bigger. And actually doesn't matter all that much because this foot's going to be behind the couch. Come to think of it. Speaking of, it does need to come forward. And I wonder if it might. Where's this going next frame? Way forward. Alright, I was going to say it might look a little bit nicer if it's like slanted back towards the body like that. But I think having it pretty much vertical will give me some wiggle room to crank it forward on the next pose. Yeah, and then those hind legs are going to be fine, looks like. Those will be, oh, why is it underneath my torso? I'm holding Alt while I'm scaling this, so it, oh shit. So it actually moves in Z depth instead of changing the size. That's, yeah, that's terrible. I did not do a great job on this rough. Let's rotate this back into place and see, like, where was this on the last frame? Way up there. Huh, honestly, I don't think it makes sense to have it. Whoa! I think it'd make more sense to have it like here-ish. I think that's gonna read better because it goes back to forward. And honestly, even that might be too high. And this, we don't want that rotation. I think that's gonna be much nicer. Something I might want. Do I not have an overlay on this? I don't. Gosh, I might want this. I might want to have an overlay like on the rig itself. So let me go ahead. I've been keeping notes of all the shit I need to fix inside the rig. So I'm just gonna open that up. I think I might have made a note about this already, but I'm torn also between just like re-exporting this puppet when I'm done with this test animation and having that be the finalized rig, but I don't know, there's a bunch of bullshit shapes in here you probably wouldn't want in the final rig, unless they were like really strategic and we're gonna come up a lot. And I'm not doing hands, so that's not gonna happen a lot. Let me see here. There's my puppet updates. Okay, add overlay for portrait upper legs. Add overlay to rear legs. Or, at least the rear. Front. No, I don't want to say this. Rear near, that's what I'm trying to say. Rear near leg. Add overlay to rear near leg. Definitely on 3/4 views. Maybe on every view. And y'all see what the fuck I'm talking about now. So when this, here, let me grab the whole leg. When this leg rotates over the torso, we lose that line art, and sometimes we want to keep it. Sometimes that's nice, but right now it's not. It'd be nicer to be able to see that continue, I think. Oh, but I'm doing this on the wrong keyframe. Let me see what it's been doing. Yeah, I think it would just help to have that line actually be visible. So what I like to do for this is, I hope I have the wrong thing selected. I like to come over to this drawing layer and I will just copy and paste this shape exactly onto my overlay layer. Oh shit, except I'm actually gonna do this on a new drawing. And then I'll come in and delete the parts we don't want. That's like way too long, looks like. Actually, that might look okay. And hopefully this doesn't look weird because I haven't had it elsewhere in the animation. I hope that's not a problem. I don't think it will be. But yeah, and then what I'll do is just take my pencil editor, drop some sneaky little points in right here and here, and taper these off so this looks nicer, looks more traditionally animated, hand-drawn, less obviously vector art, even though that's all any of this is vector art. Well, except for the rough. And even that actually technically is vector art, it's just not optimized, it's disgusting. And it's not gonna get rendered, so who cares? Cool, yeah, and now I can use 14, and I might actually name this just like 7 with overlay. 7 with overlay. I might want that shape again before it's all said and done. Alright, we can get this far leg next. Snag this sucker. Why won't I want to grab the foot? There we go. Just get this into place. Whoops. Back here.
With Google Workspace, Drive lets you
looks like it
easily
was
search your
quite a
files,
bit
making videos,
bigger
PDFs,
on the last
and over
frame,
100
so maybe
other
I'll
file
scale
types
it up
accessible from wherever you are.
just a little bit.
That's secure storage made easy with
And
Google
this
Workspace.
one comes down, and maybe I'll tweak that. Yeah, that's a pretty nice silhouette we got going. Let's see, what should the tail do? I mean, it could whip around. That would like really complete this pose. I don't know how much sense it'll make when it's moving, but I wonder what we got going on TikTok. Welcome Dial Timesley. Welcome anybody watching. I'm just animating this dog drag his ass on the floor. Getting pretty close. We only got like 7 poses left. And we having fun with it. Cool. Let me turn on my deformer. If anybody's curious how I set up this puppet rig, I have hours of content on YouTube showing how this works. And if somebody asks nicely, I'll even share my step-by-step notes on how to puppet rig. Just send you a Word doc or a PDF or something like that. So I actually have pretty good notes on how to use every software that I know how to use. So if you see me use anything on any of these streams and you're like, ooh, I wish I knew how to use ZBrush, Unreal, whatever in that way, hit me up. I probably have literally like step-by-step guides on how to do most of the shit I do, or at least like how to get you going with the beginner stuff. I also have so many free books, so many PDFs I've accumulated over the years, so if that sounds interesting, also just hit me up, DM me, send me your email, I'll send you a link to so many good art books. Alright, we got this neck in place. I'm actually gonna go ahead and come over to my rig and hide it so I can put the head where it needs to be. And you can see we can't actually see the face in the view that I planned in the rough, so let's go back over to the puppet. And we need the over the shoulder 3/4 view for this guy. Where's the other eyebrow? Okay, good, I do have it there. I want it. I want it, even if I can't see it. I want it just in case it needs to go up or down. 'Cause you'll see I did my eyebrows like Phineas and Ferb style, where they float above the head when they need to. What on earth is going on with my rig? Oh, also I can't just move this head. I need to copy and paste it where it needs to actually go. I'm just a little confused why this. I'm must have a weird keyframe somewhere because this leg should be in front of the torso, obviously. I don't know why it wasn't. That's so fucking weird. I actually probably shouldn't change the Z value on, let's see here, 0.11, 0.10. I'm just gonna grab this entire leg peg on my puppet and add like 0.05 or something. Oh, even that, it didn't even need that much. Let's go like 0.01. See if I can get away with less than that. Let's say 0.005. Nope, alright. 0.008. And I don't know. Oh damn, really? Huh. I don't know if this is on the original rig that I fucked that up. I really hope not. But let's just make sure this is, say here, make sure Z depth of near leg is above torso on every view. God damn, look at this list of shit I gotta fix in the rig. Ah! So disappointing. Thought I did better, but that's alright. That's just how it goes. Okay, let's grab this head and the face and everything. I'll center on selection down my timeline. Grab this keyframe, Control C, come back over to where we've been animating, Control V. That did not work. Alright, let's try that again. And what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna 9-0 everything. Then center the selection, Control C, Control V. There we go. Now that puppet is puppeting the way we want it to. If y'all are streaming with me, I appreciate it. As you can see, puppet animation is a lot of copying and pasting. It's not like as glamorous as watching me draw or sculpt or something like that, and I will have those streams in the future. I've already done stuff like that on YouTube and Twitch, but TikTok eventually you'll get to see some of the more fun stuff. What's up with my overlay?
Oh, you the Geico Gecko! I'm a huge fan. I filed a claim for my car with the Geico app. Only took 2 minutes.
Well, I mean, cargo's all about getting more than just saving.
Next time, how about less
Gotta
fluid?
make sure
Fair enough.
You use this much syrup.
this
What,
overlay. Ooh, and actually
and a pump top? It'll make a mess. Well, I'm taking this.
I need to duplicate the drawing before I start doing any of that. So
Have a nice
there we go. Cool. Let me get my noggin in place, turn on the deformers. I won't have deformers on this guy. Alright, we're gonna undo all that. Let's just get this noggin into place first, and then I'll worry about what's going on with the nose.
Stop searching for the perfect voice and stop wasting time re-recording take after take.
Because that's gonna be an issue.
Try 11 labs for free and start elevating.
And what I might have to do, I might just have to make this overlay where complete on all of them. No, we'll see. What I need to do is just do this deformer first before I duplicate the drawing, actually. And then I can fix the overlay. Otherwise, that would have been a nightmare. Alright, what we got going on over here? We still got somebody tuned into the TikTok live. Thanks for hopping on, watching me animate this dog. I think we just about got this key pose where it needs to be. So now I will take this shape and duplicate it and make sure we still have this deformer being applied, and then I can come over to the overlay layer, and it's going to be a little bit wonky because I'm kind of like fighting the deformer. But you can see it's more or less doing what I want. And we'll do the same with this one. Grab it just so that nose is more like that. And then let me see. Yeah, I'm more or less happy with that. I think those ears gotta get shrunken down a little bit, but oh, and this actually needs like straight up reversed, so keep the points the right direction. Yeah, look at that head spinning. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So I'm gonna turn the neck back on. Oh, I'm gonna grab this entire face and just hold Alt, move it in Z depth, make sure it's over that neck. Turn off my deformers. This right here is just the eyelid, which like, whether you can't see any of that shit from this view, so who cares? Yeah, alright, and that's how you use your puppet to ink and color your rough in ToonBoom Harmony. That's all it is. So I'm gonna do that fucking 7 more times. And that's what this stream is. Me copying and pasting puppet shapes. Maybe redrawing the torso, because it's fucking wonky. Nice. Cool. I'm gonna turn this puppet back off. See what I need. It looks like I'm gonna need just my profile, well, reverse profile and reverse 3/4. So we'll go ahead and grab the torso first, turn my puppet back on, come back down here to the end where my puppet's actually located. Yeah, the torso is off on all of these, so I wonder if I just animated some fucking peg at some point that I shouldn't have, because you can see like the neck should always be in front of the torso, and I'm pretty sure when I imported my puppet it was. So I wonder if I accidentally changed something on one of these keys, but it's no big deal. It hasn't really hindered me while I've been animating. Just something I gotta keep an eye out for, and if it is on the original puppet, then I like definitely need to go in and fix it. I've already made a note about it. So that is my whole body. I'm gonna just 9-0, shortcut O to center on selection. I'll grab this keyframe, Control C, come back over to our next key, Control V, perfect. Something I forgot to do, and I can see there's no keyframe on here. Before I go on to the next frame, I just want to grab my entire rig, hit 9, hit 0, that opens it up, collapses it. And then I have everything in the rig selected. I'll go keyframe, stop motion keyframe, key exposure, and that just makes sure absolutely anything I could possibly want keyed is keyed. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. That's kind of a crazy, well, I guess it's like 5 frames. That arm has taken a really crazy path between those two poses. And I might fuck around and like accentuate that curve with some smears when I go in and do the in-betweens, which will be on a different day. For now, we're just getting through keyframes. So alright, now I just wash, rinse, repeat that same process I did on the last one. Like I said, this is pretty much gonna be the rest of the stream. You might see me do some drawing with my mouse over some torso shapes, but if this rig is good enough, hopefully the ideal here is that I'm just copying and pasting these puppet shapes here on out. My deformer is located at the very end on the butt, so that's kind of the place I get first. This is, well, you know what, everything actually is a little bit bigger than the puppet at this point. So I'm going to trust my rough, because I had it come forward in space earlier in the animation, and all my shapes have been a little bit bigger since then. So let's get that pretty close, and then I'll grab my deformer and use that to kind of fix that Well, actually, I think it should be slanted back a little bit. We'll give this a slight, tiny curve so it's not perfectly horizontal. Yeah, like it's still coming up a little bit. So more like that, I think. And that's just a little bit more fun than the full horizontal I had going on before. Let's see here. All the limbs should be planted. Yeah, it just kind of it just kind of pops up. This is kind of a funny transition. I might need to break this down from here to here. We'll see. Maybe it won't look so bad at speed. I'm a little bit worried about those back feet making sense. This, let's see that onion skin. So yeah, that foot would come down like right about there. Maybe I'll have it poking out in front of the couch. I don't know, that might look kind of wonky, kind of shitty once I actually go to render, but we'll see. This foot should be frozen, and I'm just going to yeah, like this needs to come forward. I'm actually kind of lucky we can't see behind that couch because this is a little bit fucked up. This is a little fucked up, I can't even lie. But yeah, and that's not gonna look right. So you know what I'm actually gonna do? I'm just gonna take the leg from the last keyframe. Let me 9-0 center on selection. Control C. Control V. Yeah, we'll just use that same shape. I think we'll be a little bit safer, a little bit better off doing that. Oh, and that looks way nicer the way it's coming out of the torso. So cool. These shapes should be pretty good.
As an owner of Walton Goggins goggle glasses, I know how to make slick-looking goggle/glasses.
And I
But
honestly,
I have no idea how to make slick social media style
this needs to come
selfies.
down like
But GoDaddy Hero
maybe.
uses AI not only to create social content out of
No,
thin air,
let's just
it can
trust the
build a whole
rough.
social
I
media
mean,
calendar
God,
just for
that's
my
like,
business.
that's pretty good rough drawing.
Face and voila.
It's like one of the best I've had actually, so maybe I'll just trust it.
Stress ain't it 10
And
times
then,
fast. Look like
should
you
this
know
be
what you're
planted
doing.
already?
Animating.com.
No. But it should be kind of close. At least to there. And honestly, I might, I think this is gonna look much better if I do like something like that. Swings around, stands up. Yeah, there could be a breakdown in there, but I actually think this is gonna read surprisingly well. Look at that spin. Cool. What do I have that tail doing? So I have two options for this tail here. Where's it going next? Okay. I was gonna say I could have the tail flick up, but instead I'm gonna have it stretch down towards where it's coming from, kind of like smear that arc, and then on the next pose it'll snap up above the body, and that'll give us some nice follow through. Okay. So before that though, we gotta get this face, and this is I can already tell this is kind of a fucked up rough. Let's see, what was I going for even? Oh yeah, you can see the bottom of the head just a teeny tiny bit. We'll see how much I end up straying from the rough, because this is, like I said, it really is really rough. It's really not fucking great. That's aight. That's alright. So, just get in here to my reverse 3/4. This will definitely be the base head. B, 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 B. B, so I have it all grabbed. I can turn off onion layers for now, onion skins. 9, 0 to open and collapse. O to find in the timeline. Control C, go back over to this pose. Control V. And we'll start by getting this noggin shape close. I need to turn this rough back to like this mode so it makes sense for me. I'll probably try to get, oh yeah, dude, probably that face edge close. Grab my deformers. Be down there. It's really interesting with these poses because I don't actually, like, I could come in with shading to make it really apparent where the different sides of the cube are. That would take forever to color all those pieces differently. But what's interesting is if I place my shapes well enough, especially the facial features, you can actually still tell where those planes are. The reason I'm worried about this one a little bit is because, like, with barely being able to see the chin, the difference between the face plane and this bottom plane is going to be like razor thin, and the placement of the facial features might not be quite enough. So I'm worried that this space is going to look a little bit confused, but we'll see. We will see. So what I will do is I will grab my noggin shape over here in my rig and turn it off. And then see where I'm at with these facial features. Oh, whoops, let me hit B a couple times, make sure I'm grabbing that cute little heart cutter node. That's about right. Maybe a little bit smaller in this view. Yeah, my rough I think is a little bit wonky. That's pretty good, that's pretty close. My eyes, I have to use my rig to grab. So let me grab my eye near. Whoops, because it's like 3 different parts. And I might have an idea on how to like repeg these eyes. Actually, if I, yeah, repeg eyes to make them a little bit easier to select. Definitely can't do that for this project. I'm like way too far with the eye animation. So I have to grab, like, to move the eye and the eyelids all together, I have to grab 3 different pegs instead of just 1 peg, which would be really nice for what I'm trying to do. Yeah, everything is actually going to be just a little tiny bit bigger. I probably shouldn't have shrunk this. Yeah, it would be nice to have 1 peg. The thing that makes it hard is this eye patch switches like near far, so I can't have that eye patch pegged with either the near or far eye. And the way I have things set up now, it makes it easy to select that at least, because I can just like grab my far eye and then control click that peg. But it'd still be better if instead of having 3 pegs per eye and eyelid, I had those all run to 1 peg, and then I can kind of put that peg in between the 2 eyes somewhere up here in my puppet rig. And then, yeah, and then I'd only have to grab 1 or 2 pegs instead of 3 or 4. Pretty minor little change, but like it just would save me from hitting the letter B a fucking lot. Same thing, oh no, never mind. The mouth actually does all have 1 peg. And yeah, it's gonna be kinda. Also, I think this head shape is maybe too big. So I'm gonna turn the noggin back on. I'm gonna change, like I think this plane could run more like that. Because on all my other views, like the chin is just barely underneath the mouth. So it could be something more like that, and then you could see, and then we would see more of that bottom of the head right there. We can kind of imagine it. And this will need to rotate now to sort of follow that imaginary line that would run. God, let me think about it. Yeah, I'm pretty close to that. That might be a little extreme. Cool. And then from this view, let me think about it. Let me look at my rough. Yeah, I drew this near ear fucking horribly, terribly. Like that, you'd actually be able to see like the whole ear. I don't know why I drew it so close to the head, but it should be sticking out. And then that far ear, we would actually lose a little bit. So that one I kind of drew right. Like we would not be able to see very much of that. Eyebrows are just going to go at the top of the head. You can see, you can imagine our face plane pretty well. It's maybe a little bit big, but that's alright. That eyebrow is going to go up here. And we just got to put the neck in place and
Ranger knows that you're a lineman in charge of keeping the lights on.
get the Z depth correct.
And sometimes heights to ensure the power is always flowing.
I think, yeah, I think that's,
Ranger, for professional grade products and
I think that's pretty good. Where are we
so you
coming
have
from?
everything you need to get the job done.
Let's,
Ranger,
this can be a little bit more like that. Yep, there we go.
for the ones.
So it's still underneath that torso. Hold Alt, change that Z depth, bring it back in front. Look at that shit. Very nice. And now it's once again in front of my head. So B B B B B B B. Not big beautiful bill or big booty bitches. I call it the big genocide bill. That's what it actually is when you give that much money to ICE. That shit's crazy. But I'm not talking about that. When I say BBB, I'm just talking about climbing my cute little peg hierarchy for this cute little dog that has absolutely nothing political about it. So, yeah, just the tail, and this is going to be looking nice. I'm going to onion skin this tail so you can see where it's coming from, and I can fake that arc with my deformer. So, just kind of get the end of it placed properly, and then turn the deformer on, and then we can see, like, yeah, it's coming around that way, so it'll be woo, and that'll fucking, I might even stretch it more than that. Really extreme stretch, going from boom, there to there. You can see that tail whipping around. It looks a little bit big on this one, compared to that last frame especially, so I might just scale it down ever so slightly. Oh, and I did that on the wrong keyframe. How'd that happen? Control C, Control V, and we'll delete that keyframe. All right, and that's the whole last pose. Not bad. How long is this taking me per pose? I'm curious. It's just for my own good. 43 minutes. Ooh, that's like 20 minutes a pose. I did talk a little bit at the beginning before I started working, but still, it's not. It's not. I was hoping more for like 15 per minute. And now here I am talking and not working. The pros and cons of streaming. All right, so I'm gonna 9-0. I'm gonna go ahead. Center on selection. Oh no, I don't have to do that for this. I'm tripping. I'm done posing. 9-0 keyframe, stop motion, key exposure. Fantastic. Let's turn onion skins on. See what we got going on over here. TikTok, we don't got anybody watching. It's done. They've come and went. But if you hop on, join. Welcome. Just making this dog move his ass. How many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more keyframes, baby. So let's see what we got going on here. Oh yeah, that is full blown profile view without a doubt, and then still reverse 3/4 head. It looks like, yeah, just coming towards the camera a little bit and maybe showing even a little bit less of the head in that last frame. It's like rocking back, yeah. Those back legs, this back leg is doing what it should be. That back leg is not. So I'll have to pay attention to that. Everything else looks pretty damn good. So I'll come over to my puppet, grab that reverse, profile, hit beep 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 until I got all of it, except for the head. I will hit 9 to expand, 0 to collapse, O to center on selection, and then I will Control C, come back over here, Control V, and we can start with that. I'll just get this head out the way for now. Cool. Do I have water? Did I not bring my water in here before I started streaming? Wow, rookie shit. Idiot. That's alright. That's alright. We'll just be thirsty for another like 10 minutes. Get this pose done, and then I'll go grab my water bottle. So that's pretty close. Grab the, oh, actually I'm gonna scale it up a little bit for this view. Show the deformers. And yeah, look at that. Oh yeah, look at that. That's nice. That's the puppet working how it should, except for I wonder if I can get this a little bit more vertical. Destroys my lines when I do that though. Ugh.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Alright.
Not the gas pump or
Alright.
the checkout counter.
I think that's close enough for me to
Now,
get
via
away
the
with.
Chase mobile app, he can use card lock.
Wait, I can just lock my card.
Yep, just a few
Yeah.
tippy taps on his phone, and that sound, that's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase
Still
Bank,
ruining that line. Can't do that. I think this is close enough right here, to be honest. And adding that neck in will give me some of that mass back. Same with like these legs. That right there gets a little thin. So yeah, I think we can work with that. I think we can get away with it instead of redrawing on this one. I do. So let me see here. Okay. Yep, that's about what that's gonna want to be. Maybe stretch a little bit actually. But the foot will be in the same place. I'm gonna get rid of the, that's all I want to see. Make sure that foot is looking good. This, ah shit. I did that on the wrong frame. Damn. God damn it. Cool. Go back over here. Yeah, stretch this just a little bit. See, snapping back. I might even just make it just like ever so slightly more thin. Ooh, we got a snowy cameo. Ooh, my real dogs need attention. Even though I already took you on a walk half an hour ago. grab this leg. I need to copy that whole thing. So 9, 0, center on selection, Control C, come back over here, Control V. No, what? What happened? Let's go B, B, B. Center on selection, Control C, Control V. Oh my god, why? Let's try this one more time. Let's go 9, 0, center on selection, Control C, Control V. What the fuck, ToonBoom? What the fuck, ToonBoom? It's okay. Alright, let's turn that onion skin back on. It's gonna be pretty much the same, just same thing stretched a little tiny bit. So we can go boom, boom. God, I might even make it more apparent than that. Hopefully that's not too much, but let's see. It just kind of sells that. And I actually might even just like rotate this a little bit so you can see it like arcing back. Oh, look at that. Look at that dog popping it, locking it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. This 30 seconds of stream is for the furries. Alright. Let's see here. So this foot needs to be the exact same. And I'm gonna kind of animate this a little bit counterintuitively. But right. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and stretch that into place. It's close enough. Ooh, my wife just left, so my dogs might go crazy, just a heads up. Might get a nice little serenade, a nice little midstream serenade. We'll see what happens. Let me grab this back leg. So this is gonna be the same sort of situation. I need that foot to be more or less the exact fucking same. And then the leg is gonna snap back. So, boom, like that. And the same thing over here. I'm just gonna try to stretch this down to where it needs to be. I'm gonna rotate my screen actually and get that bounding box more vertical. Yeah, that works. And then Shift X. Let's see how that. No, 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 no. Did not work. I'm stretching this way too much. So, let's see. Let's get this a little bit more reasonable. Yeah, we can just make this real subtle. And then Control Alt, rotate my screen, and stretch this out a little bit. Yeah. There we go. And then I'll Shift X, get my view back to normal. There we go. Oh. Popping that shit. Alright. Then I'll grab my tail. And yep, now we can have that reverse flick happen. I can shorten this back out.
When it comes to back-to-school shopping at Target, we believe the best choice is all of the above. From first day butterflies to last day high fives.
Oh yeah, that's a nice little A-B cycle.
Definitely make your day.
Nice little dance. Oh.
Back to school at Target.
Hell yeah. Alright. Let's grab this neck. Get it. Look at that. Look at that shit. That's pretty close. That's pretty close. Let's have to move that collar a little bit, looks like. Actually, I'm gonna scale it up a little bit. Was not quite right. Oh, I want it to be dead on so bad, but it's not. I need to, looks like if I just pull this deformation point out, I'll be cooking. Souk! Hell yeah, how we doing over here? Anybody popping up? Nope. Day in, day out. We got 0 live right now, but that's alright. That's alright, I get it. This is pretty boring stuff to actually watch, this puppet animation stuff, but I enjoy it. And hopefully, if anybody hops on, they learn a thing or two. I probably should have placed the head before I place the neck, so I'm going to come into my rig and turn the neck off. Just hide it for a second. Man, I could almost just use that same face. I really distorted it last time, so I'm actually going to go ahead and we'll just start back from scratch with this guy. Let me 9-0 that shit. Center on selection. This one, Control C. Come back over here, Control V. And then, yeah, I'll probably start with that front edge again. Just try to get that kind of close. Yeah, it's not bad. I'm gonna grab the face and get it out the way. Same with the ears. Probably should have just grabbed that noggin shape, but that's alright. Move that down a little bit. That's my face plane. Grab this. Something I've learned over the course of making this puppet, spherical and like round shapes are so much easier to work with than a cubic or like rectangular shape. Just because you can like get away with the same frickin' shape pretty much without having to do all this deformer nonsense to like change the planes. Because a sphere rotating just like still looks like a sphere. So, but no, I got this nice little SpongeBob head for this dog, so we in it, we're doing it, we're making it happen anyways. But future reference, like I might have tried to make this whole thing a big like rounded rectangle instead of such like a sharp cube in the future, just because it's way easier to do 2.5D stuff with rounded shapes, rounded more spherical forms. Ba, ba, ba. That's, you know, I'll believe it. Probably needs to be a little bit bigger, but this will be able to see the whole ear still, so that'll, yeah, get hidden. Let me get my eyes. We'll do that near eye first. Go like right there-ish. We'll get that far eye. And the eye patch. That's kind of, yeah, about right there. Grab that mouth. Define the lower limits of my face plane. Eyebrows, define the upper limits. And I am not doing any of my lip sync or like eyebrow animation yet, or like eyelids or anything. I'll do a whole another facial pass for that. Okay, I can go back. I'm gonna turn my noggin back on. Turn my neck back on. And yeah, I might actually, I think this shape should actually be quite a bit smaller. I think something more like that. Whoops. Put it on the wrong keyframe. Yeah, you can see that neck's actually rotating back now. This, we probably still want to be able to see it. Ah, there it is. Alright. So, gotta reorder this shit after all. And then grab the whole head. Just bring it up in the Z space until we're over the neck. Yeah. Oh, oh, oh. And you know what? I think this point could maybe get taken down a little bit. And that'll make this make a little more sense. Yeah, it's just this edge is pretty long. So let's see here. Ah, whoops. Control C, Control V. Let's delete that keyframe. Still a little wonky. Let me see. I might just trust my rough and wait until I get feedback. Because I can tell what it's doing, it just feels fucking weird. And I can't quite pin why right now. I just think my planes are getting a little distorted. But we probably alright. Oops. Both these can come down. Ah. Control C. Control V. Let's see here. It's alright. It's alright. It'll do for now. It'll get me through feedback at least, and then I can change it after I show it to somebody else. If they're like, hey, that's weird, that looks like trash, I can be like, you know what, you're right. Why is that? Let's figure it out. Alright, I'm gonna 9-0 this whole thing, give it a keyframe, stop motion keyframe, key exposure. Alright, we only have 5 keys left. Oh yep, we got the first P pose. Oh, this mischievous little fucker. Looking at the camera and peeing on the carpet. Alright. So got 5 frames left. I'm gonna save. It's been a little while. I'll go ahead and increment and save. Pretty substantial progress. Alright, it's been a good A good hour-long stream. How many more poses? We got 5 left. I'm debating. I need to go to the stove. I need to feed myself. It's like 2 p.m. Yeah, I can come finish these poses later. Alright, this has been a pretty solid stream. Good hour. Y'all see how to work with a puppet? Yeah, that's it. If you've been watching along, thanks. Love, gratitude, peace.